Okay, we're going to take a break from what we're learning now in halachic to learn about this Tuesday night. We mentioned we start saying the Saint Talamotor. So you have to know the halachos about it, and then we'll learn the dinim of Chanukah, which is Thursday night. Okay, so we learned already in Eretz Yisrael, they started asking for rain on the 7th of Cheshvan. So it works like this. On Shmini Atzeres, start saying Masha Baruch HaMeir HaGeshem. But that's basically a praise of Hashem. It's not a request. It's in the first three brachas are praises of Hashem. In Baruch Aleinu, so then it's a request. So ideally, the Gemara says we should start asking for rain right after Sukkot. During Sukkot, that's why we bench Geshem, as it's called. Why do we say Masha Baruch at the end of Sukkot? Because you have to eat in the sukkah on Sukkot. We don't want people having rain that they can't eat in the sukkah. So we bench Geshem, as it's called, for rain on Shmini Atzeres. But we don't ask for rain, even though we really should right away start asking for rain. But the people in Eretz Yisrael that came up for Sukkot to the Bais Din have to go home. And the Chum didn't want them to have rain on the way home. So most of the people got home within 2 weeks of Sukkot. So therefore in Eretz Yisrael, they asked for rain 2 weeks after Sukkot, which is Zayin Cheshvan. 7th of Cheshvan, in Eretz Yisrael, they start asking for rain. In Bavel, the Gemara says, they didn't need as much rain as they did in Eretz Yisrael. Eretz Yisrael needed more rain than Bavel, where the majority of the Jews were at that time. So in Eretz Yisrael, they started asking for rain. In Bavel, they didn't need so much rain. So they started asking for rain 60 days after Tkufas Tishrei, which are the 4 seasons of the year, which comes out either December 5th or 6th. If it's a leap year, then it's December 6th. If it's not a secular leap year, like next year's a leap year, so then it's December 6th. If it's not a leap year, December 5th. That's the cheshvan of the way it works out. So then we start asking, so even though normally we daven for Eretz Yisrael, but the minig is that for people in outside of Eretz Yisrael, in Bavel or any other places outside of Eretz Yisrael, we don't start asking for rain, and this year again, which is December 6th, which is Wednesday, so Tuesday night at night, it was already Wednesday, so this Tuesday night we start saying, we're saying Talumot Levracha. Now, what happens if somebody davened and they left it out? Okay? So if they're still within that bracha of Baruch Aleinu, they say, we're saying Talumot Levracha. Even if they said Baruch Atah Hashem, then they say Lamdeini Chukecha, which is a pasuk in Tillim, not to make a bracha in vain. They say the same Talumot Levracha, and then they go back to where you're supposed to do it. If you said Baruch Atah Hashem Mevarech Hashanim, you finish the bracha, then you say the same Talumot Levracha, right there. You say the same Talumot Levracha, and then you continue Tka b'shofar. Then you continue the Shemona Esrei. The second you say the word Tka, you started already the next bracha. So the next opportunity to say the saying Talumot Levracha is in the middle of Shema Koleinu. Before Ki'ata Shmei Tfilas Kol Peh. So over there you say the saying Talumot Levracha, and then you continue Ki'ata Shmei Tfilas Kol Peh, and you continue Baruch Atah Hashem Shmei Tfilah. What happens if somebody didn't say Baruch Atah Hashem Shemei Tfilah, but they didn't start the next bracha Ritzei? So then they say after Shema Koleinu, they're saying Talumot Levracha, and then they continue Ritzei. Once you say Ritzei, you have to go back to Baruch Aleinu. Go all the way back to Baruch Aleinu and continue from then on. If you finish the Shemona Esrei, and you realize you made a mistake, you didn't say the same Talumot, you have to repeat the whole Shemona Esrei from the beginning. Okay? So this is rather pretty simple. If you're in the bracha Baruch Aleinu, you say the same Talumot. If you didn't, even if you finished the bracha, but you didn't start the next bracha, Tekah, you say the same Talumot Levracha. If you said Tekah, you say the middle of Shema Koleinu. If you didn't say Shema Koleinu, you say it after Shema Koleinu. Right? Once you say Ritzei, you have to go back to Baruch Aleinu. Once you finish the Shemona Esrei, the halacha is you have to go back to the beginning of Shemona Esrei. What happens if you don't remember what you said? You don't remember that I say the same Talmud or the same bracha. So the din is, for the first 30 days, or 90 tefillas really, we assume that you said what you were accustomed to, which was not the same Talmud or the bracha. Okay, that's the general dinim of the same Talmud. In many shuls, it's not our minig, but many shuls, before marriage, right before Shemona Esrei, Tuesday night, they would say the same Talmud. We don't. We just give a patch and hit on the table just to remind everybody to do it. Now, what happens is, one second, what happens if somebody daven Shachris? They didn't say the same Talmud. Now it comes Mincha time. And the davening Mincha, then they realize, that, I didn't say the same Talmud at Shachris. So the din is, you have to daven 2 Minchas. What?
You say Ashrei and you say Shemona Esrei after?
No, you say Ashrei Shemona Esrei, the first one, and then you repeat the Shemona Esrei. Because you have to make up for Shachris that you didn't do correctly. So the first one you say for Mincha, like Ashrei and Shemona Esrei, like for Mincha, and then you have to repeat a second time because you have to make up what you didn't do Shachris.
How about you forget that also?
What?
How about you forget it also in the Mincha?
That you can only make it, then you have to do 2 Ma'ariv, but you can't do 3 Ma'ariv. You can only make up, B'chlal, this is the thing, you can only make up a davening at the next davening, not 2 later. That you can do. What?
Say you were in Israel when they started to
Mm-hmm.
switch over, and then a week or 2 later, or whenever later you now came back to, or you're outside of Israel.
The minig is you continue saying, once you started, you continue saying Saint Talmud. Not everybody agrees with that, but you start saying the Saint Talmud. Once you started, you continue. Now, we just mentioned the other day, what happens if you're an Israeli guy, you started already saying Talmud, but you're now coming here and you're davening for the Yomid, you're a chazan. So again, in the quiet Shemona Esrei, you say yours, and the repetition, you say, like everybody, what? If you forgot Friday Mincha, it's not going to help doing 2 Friday nights because you don't say the same Talmud Friday night. What?
When you go to Israel, you start when they start.
That's the minute, Lepel. You start when they start.
Even if they're in the middle, it's 2 weeks past Zayin Cheshvan.
No. If you started with them Zayin Cheshvan, then you do
But if
it.
you're going for...
No, then you could say what you say. Yeah.
If you forget St. Tal during Shabbos, then you sit, so you do regular Shemona Esrei Mincha, then you do another Shemona Esrei after.
Right.
You do, like an Ashrei in the middle of that?
You don't have to, no.
No?
Okay, now it's interesting, a chad is right like this, a chazan that always davens for the Yomid, Shachris and Mincha, and Ma'ariv, let's see, he's the chazan always, so then he doesn't have to wait 30 days because it's 90 tefillas, but he has 90 tefillas in 12 days. So whatever, the cheshbon, 18 days, whatever it is. So he can assume that he said it right. Okay, that's basically it. Okay. That's as far as Talmud goes.
We don't have 90 tefillas because it's also like Shabbos.
Shabbos. That's why I said it's not actually 30 days. It's 90 tefillas.
Oh.
And technically, if somebody says, V'sein Talmud levracha, v'sein Talmud levracha, v'sein Talmud levracha, 90 times it would also be good. But you can't do that with other, like a Kel HaKodesh, because you can't say Baruch Atah Hashem Kel HaKodesh, Baruch Atah Hashem Kel, you can't say brachos in vain. And if you say Baruch Atah Hashem Kel HaKodesh, then we're afraid when you say it the regular way, the real name of Hashem, you're going to forget it anyway. So it's not going to help doing it 92 times. Okay, let's go now. That's basically, that's Tuesday night we start saying Talmud. Let's discuss a little bit about Chanukah. What? What? This Tuesday night. Today is December 3rd. And we start December 6th this year. So we start the night of December 6th. What? No. The secular leap year. This coming February is 2024. So every 4 years is a leap year. That has to do with Kufis Tishri, right? So if there's a leap year in February, so then you start the 6th of December, not the 5th of December. Otherwise, you start the 5th of December. So it depends actually if there's a leap year or not. By the way, it's interesting. Why is, in the secular calendar, why is February the only month with 29 days? Why the leap year in the secular calendar is only February? Why isn't it December? Like by Torah, the last month is Adar. So therefore you have 2 Adars before Nisan, right? But why is it? Because in the Gregorian calendar, before the Gregorian calendar, the months began actually from March. March was New Year's until Yoshka came. March 1st was the first of the year. So the last month of the year was February. That's why February is only 28 days, because the solar calendar has 365 days and a quarter days. 365 and a quarter. So therefore, what day is added? The last day of the year, which then was February 28th, and then if it became February 29th. So even after they changed the calendar and made January 1st New Year's, also because of that whole thing with Yoshka, so February still stayed 28, but it's the reason why. So, and coming back to Talmud Motor, so the Talmud Motor is if there's a secular leap year, like again, this coming year is 2024, so it's divided by 4. So there's a leap year, so then the month before that is December 6th versus December 5th. But again, you start the Maida before December 6th. So Wednesday is December 6th. So we start Tuesday night on December 5th, but we're starting really the 6th. Okay, let's talk a little bit about Chanukah. Chanukah is a very important Yom Tov. Now, there's 2 aspects of Chanukah, which is very important halachically. There's an aspect of Chanukah, as everybody knows, the miracle with the menorah. Okay, they had enough oil for 1 day, it lasted 8 days. That's one aspect. Then there was another aspect of Chanukah, which is the aspect of the winning the battle against the Greeks. Okay? So the Yidden fought the Greeks. According to many opinions, it was only Matasyahu and his sons were fighting the Greeks. So Lepel, there was the victory of the war. Then they came in to dedicate the Bais Din. Then they had the miracle of the menorah. So there's 2 distinct miracles that happened in Chanukah. If you notice, there's 2 things also which are different. The Ala Nisim we say in Ma'ariv, in Shemona Esrei, Ala Nisim and Chanukah and Purim, okay? We say every tefillah. That has no mention of the miracle of the menorah. So Anisa Apurkan Masati Giber Miat Chaloshim, the strong at the end of the week. There is no mention about the menorah Beis Hamikdash. This that we say at the end, Vidliku Neiris Bechatzreis Kochecha, they lit the candles in the Chatzar of the Beis Hamikdash. The Rebbe writes clear that it can't be Neiris Chanukah, because the Neiris Chanukah were not lit in the Chatzar. Vidliku Neiris Bechatzreis Kochecha means, in celebration, they lit candles all around the Beis Hamikdash. But the menorah of the Beis Hamikdash was actually lit inside the Heichal. So that has nothing to do, there is no mention at all, okay, of the miracle of the oil in Haner Salol, in Tefillah. Then you have a separate thing. You have Haner Salol. That's the miracle of the menorah. It's 2 distinct things in Chanukah. In fact, when the Gemara says, my Chanukah, which the Rashi says means, for what miracle did they establish the Yom Tov of Chanukah? So when the Gemara goes through the whole story about the war, and then it says about the menorah lit, So the Gemara concludes, the kavu, that they established the Yom Tov of Chanukah, b'halal v'hidah, to say halal and ala nisim. Again, they didn't establish it officially for the menorah. There's two distinct, very distinct things about Chanukah. There's halal v'hidah that Chum established the Yom Tov of Chanukah to say halal, which is one of the Sheva Mitzvahs Rabbanon, to say complete halal on Chanukah, and also ala nisim. Then there's this total separate issue has to do with what they found the oil and this and that. So there's a lot of issues with that. Now, when did they win the war? So if you look in the Rambam says that it was on the 25th day of Kislev they won the war. That's what the Rambam writes in Hilchos Chanukah. And in fact, that's what the Chanukah stands for, Chanukah. It's two words, Chanukah. They rested on the 25th. So according to the Rambam, the war ended on the 25th, and then that night they had the menorah, the miracle with the oil. The Meiri holds that they won the war on the 24th of Kislev, a day earlier than the Rambam holds. So the machlekes in the Rishonim, actually, when was the war over? Was it over the 24th of Kislev, like the Meiri, or was it over on the 25th, like the Rambam says? So that's two opinions in halacha. But in practical case, we start Chanukah anyway the night of the 25th. That's the halacha, the night of the 25th, and to be continued. Okay.